I feel like there's been a lot more explosive plays in the passing game, but it's not just guys running wide, wide and open and good throws and the coverage is okay. Like, is that what you've noticed? Is the coverage more competitive at least?
Oh yeah. I think we've improved in a week. I mean, I'm pleased with where we are defensively. I really am. I think there's been good design, and that means, like, sometimes in explosives, an over route that's called at 20 yards, it's going to be down. The ones that we don't want are the ones that are running past us with no one on top of it. And a couple times in the scrimmage, we talked about the need to strengthen our perimeter. We'll do that because some of the explosives in the passing game came on short throws that became long runs. But there were a couple times in the scrimmage too where you saw free runners behind the secondary. That's not okay. So as a DB, there's never going to be a perfect practice where you're not going to get beat at some point. But especially because we got a lot of speed on offense now. But what you want to see is, are we in position to down the ball? And I am seeing that, and so I'm encouraged by the progress we made.
Scrimmaging at the stadium tomorrow, what do you hope to get out of that just in terms of kind of getting used to the playing field?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think everything kind of changes when you open up both ends of the stadium, so there needs to be just kind of visual awareness, the feel of how the wind may transfer through differently. We're going to acclimate to what game day is going to feel like for us in terms of the spaces we're going to use. And I do think that's important, more important this year than maybe in years past where we're just copy and paste. This will be a new experience for our team, and so that's the reason we're doing it. And we'll take full advantage of that.
Will you also be going through things like the locker room setup and scoreboards and things like that as well?
Not scoreboards, locker room setup, yes. We'll spend time there before we go out, and then at halftime too, just to get a feel for what that's going to be like. And truthfully, some of that stuff for us will improve, even though it's temporary space. It'll actually be better than the setup before. And that's just because that setup didn't change for a really long time. So, but to acclimate to it and to get used to it, I think is important.
I imagine the safeties are going to be back for tomorrow. Anybody else who missed the first scrimmage who could be coming back for tomorrow?
Basically, if they've been on the practice field here, they'll be playing tomorrow. I don't anticipate inserting anyone that's not been practicing this week for tomorrow. That will probably, some of those guys will be back on Tuesday. It should be exciting. I know CJ's aiming for that. I think we still got to get him through the next few days. But it was good to see him in pads today doing his work on the side. I think we'll take the team that was on today. I don't think we had anything new happen, so that'll be the team tomorrow. It'll be good to have those safeties out there. They'll probably be on a pitch count. And then it's a great chance again to get a lot of young players reps too. So we'll look forward to doing that.
Coach, I don't know if this is a new thing, but I noticed boxing gloves on a lot of the DBs. Could you explain what that does for them?
Well, it frustrates them. They don't like that, but it's really good work for them to learn how to play with their feet and to not hold. I think instinctively sometimes, we want to when we feel just a slight step out of position, we want to grab and pull. And coming out of the last scrimmage, there were a lot of flags on the defense, I felt like, on routes that we were covering, but we were just sloppy at the finish. And so the boxing gloves teach you to use your feet to win early, and then teach you how to win late without the ability to hold. That's what that's doing. And it is frustrating, and I think that's great for them because just like anything, they're learning the skills. So they need to get out of their comfort zone, which is what's going on.
Coach Shepard has been working with the punt returners. Is that something you would like to see a receiver return punts, or that you would like to get somebody else in there? How does that? What's that?
It doesn't matter to me. I think Will is a great comfort to us. We know the biggest thing in punt return, the number one priority is to possess the ball. We know Will can do that. He makes really good decisions. I think there's also room there to create explosives and obviously to generate field position. And so you want to see someone that is comfortable fielding the ball, is comfortable making the decisions. And then, obviously the ability to create some space and make someone miss and puncture vertical factor into that too. But you're not going to compromise number one to get to number two. And so there are a number of guys. Obviously, Will's done it for us, but there are a number of guys that are getting reps at it, and I think we'll just keep working that group until we have to make a decision for Hawaii.
Is Taco Wright a safety now?
He's still learning both. We know he can play field corner. As we look at his skills in both our sub packages, like in base situations, but also like sub packages in 3rd down and 2 minute, his skills translate inside really well. And so we're exploring where he can most effectively impact winning. We know he can play corner. We know he can play nickel. We think he has some skills to play on the back end too. We're gonna test that out a little bit.
Is there anything that, due to the stadium construction that you're not going to be able to do tomorrow, or like restrictions that you might have?
I think the only thing that we're looking for is on the north end, just for tomorrow, putting the goalpost in the ground. I think they were still working on that yesterday, but that just may mean we run the scrimmage one way, or when we need to kick, we flip it around. That's temporary inconvenience. The rest of it will be basically exactly how it'll be, except for a lack of scoreboard.
Speaking of the goalposts, when you all kick this season without the end zone, is it just going to be putting the same screen up but just kicking into that like construction site?
Yeah, there will be a extensive netting there, but there'll be some balls that will need to be pulled out of some holes, I would imagine, at some point. Yeah.